Hello student, this lecture is prepared for heat transfer subject for diploma students. Today I will discuss the exercise or problem on the calculation of heat transfer coefficient for turbulent flow. So this is the example number 3.6. Calculate the heat transfer coefficient for fluid flowing through a tube having inside diameter 40 mm and at a rate of 5500 kg per hour. Assume that the fluid is being heated. So data is given that the properties of the fluid at mean bulk temperature. So mean bulk temperature means inlet and outlet temperature divided by 2. So that is called mean bulk temperature. Then first was the viscosity of the flowing fluid. So this is equal to 0.004 Newton second per meter square. Density of the fluid 1.07 gram per centimeter cube. Specific heat of the flowing fluid is equal to 2.72 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. Thermal conductivity of the flowing fluid is equal to 0.256 watt per meter Kelvin. And here it is mentioned that make the use of Dietz-Boelter equation. So before going to into solution of the problem, I want to show the heat exchanger. So this is called a heat exchanger. So the heat exchanger is having tubes inside that, and these are called a channel, and there are nozzles. So this is called nozzles. There are 4 nozzles, and these are the baffles. So one fluid is passing through the inside of the tube. So that fluid is called tube side fluid. And one fluid is passing through the outside of this tube. That is called a shell side fluid. So for example, here this red color shows the tube side fluid passing in the heat exchanger. So here. So in these tubes, the tube side fluid is passing, and then another fluid is known as the shell side fluid. So this fluid is known as shell side fluid. So this is passing through this side, and it is the outside of the tube. So the heat transfer is taking place through the metal wall of these tubes, and then the fluid is separated. That means the shell side fluid goes out through this nozzle. So it is called a shell side fluid out, and the tube side fluid is taken out from this nozzle. It is called tube side fluid outlet. So in this way the heat transfer is taking place, and the baffles are used to create the turbulence in the heat exchanger. So we will discuss how the construction of the heat exchanger is taking place in 5th unit. So this is called a heat exchanger. So here one fluid is passing. So in the problem, the given fluid is passing through the tubes, and for this fluid we have to calculate the heat transfer coefficient. So there are 2 types of a heat transfer coefficient. First one is the inside, or which is called tube side, and another one is called a shell side, that is called outside. So there are these 2 types of a heat transfer coefficient we can calculate. So here we are going to calculate the tube side fluid. So the properties of this fluid is tube side. So that means the fluid which is passing through the tubes. So the empirical equation, there are 2 types of equations given in a book. One is the Dietz-Boelter equation, and another one is the Sider-Tat equation. So Sider-Tat equation is also applicable for laminar and turbulent. But here we are going to discuss the Dietz-Boelter equation. So the Dietz-Boelter equation is given here. So Nusselt number is equal to 0.023 into bracket Reynolds number to the power 0.8 multiplied by Prandtl number to the power 0.4. So we can solve this problem by step. So first the mass flow rate is given. So first convert this mass flow rate. So mass flow rate is called m dot. So first convert this mass flow rate into kg per second. So it is given in a kg per hour. So you have to divide it by 3600. That means you have to convert it into second. So divided by 3600, we get 1.53 kg per second. Then density is also converted into kg per meter cube by multiplying 1000. And then we have to calculate the volumetric flow rate. So why we are doing this calculation? Because we want to calculate the Reynolds number. So therefore this calculation is needed. So Reynolds number is calculated by using this formula du rho by mu. So for that purpose we have to calculate u, and u is calculated from volumetric flow rate. So therefore we are converting these parameters into volumetric flow rate. So mass flow rate you have to convert into volumetric flow rate by dividing just density of that fluid. So we have mass flow rate in kg per second, then you have to density of that fluid, and then we get 1.43 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter cube per second. So this is called a Q, which is known as the volumetric flow rate. Note that volumetric flow rate and mass flow rate, these two things are different. Then for calculation of velocity, we have to calculate the area. So area is pi by 4 di square. So this is the cross sectional area. So diameter is given 40 millimeters. You have to convert that into meters, 0.04, and multiply by pi by 4. So do this calculation in calculator. We are obtaining 1.256 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter square area. Then what is the formula for velocity? Q by A. So Q by is nothing but volumetric flow rate, and if we divide the area, we get the velocity. So which is equal to the 1.14 meter per second. And we are having the formula Reynolds number is equal to di u rho by mu. So di is nothing but diameter. Inside diameter, u is velocity, rho is density, mu means viscosity. So here we are having all these values d, di, rho, u, and viscosity. Viscosity is having same unit, so that it is not necessary to convert these units, or you can write directly this is equal to 0.04 kg per meter second. So all these units are equal. So viscosity here not necessary to convert. So put all this value and we have to calculate the Reynolds number, which is equal to 12,198. So from this we know that the Reynolds number is higher, so the flow is turbulent. Note that this equation is used when the Reynolds number is greater than 10,000 and the flow is turbulent. Then the relation we have already discussed. The equation is called Dietz-Boelter equation, and we are using this for heating. So sometimes here there may be 0.3. So 0.3 is nothing but it is used for cooling. So always see that the fluid is heating or cooling. According to that, this parameter only change. So here we are given that the heating, so 0.4. If the equation is used for cooling, you have to just change here 0.3 and remaining equation is same. So then we have already calculated Reynolds number. Then you have to calculate the Prandtl number, which is nothing but is equal to Cp mu by K. So Cp is nothing but the specific heat of the fluid. So this specific heat must be converted into the joules per kg Kelvin because it is given in kilojoules. So multiply by 10 to the power 3, we get this value in joules per kg Kelvin. Then we have already K, that is thermal conductivity of the fluid, is given. Mu means viscosity is also given. So put all these value in this equation, we obtain Prandtl number is equal to 42.5. Then you have to put all these value in this equation. So Nusselt number is equal to 0.023 into bracket 12,198 bracket complete to the power 0.8 multiply by value of Prandtl number, that is 42.5 to the power 0.4, and solving this equation we get 191.5. So Nusselt number, that is Hi di by k, is equal to 191.5. Then from this Nusselt number we have to calculate the inside heat transfer coefficient. So I have already told that what is meant by inside heat transfer coefficient. Inside means it is flowing through the tubes, so it is called inside heat transfer coefficient. So we have to calculate that di, that means inside diameter of the pipe, is also given. Thermal conductivity of the fluid is also known. Then put this value, and right hand side of the equation is we have already calculated, that is 191.5. Then rearrange this equation and calculate the Hi, that is known as the inside heat transfer coefficient, which is equal to 1225.5 watts per meter square Kelvin. Note that this is the unit of the heat transfer coefficient. So in this way we have calculated the inside heat transfer coefficient of the given fluid. Thank you.